Court, the movie podcast where Sean
and Mampy
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
Oddity.
In theaters.
Now.
Gotta go.
Starring Irish people.
Yes. Shudder Will and Oddity.
Yeah. There is one, and his name was like Tartam. He was in Wrath of Man.
Oh, really?
The guy with one eye.
Oh, wow.
Is in Wrath of Man. I don't know if is he just a really good one-eyed actor,
I guess so.
or
He's
does
the
he
best
act
one.
as a one-eyed man? Is he a two-eyed actor pretending to be one-eyed?
Did he have one eye in Wrath of Man?
I don't remember. If he did, I didn't notice it. I feel like that would be something I would go, oh yeah. There's that one-eyed guy.
Yeah, that's the one-eyed guy. That's the guy you get when you need a guy with one eye. And we love it.
He's perfect.
He's great at it.
And you need an Irish guy.
An Irish guy. Maybe. Maybe something like that. These are just suggestions for your career in,
Mine or
comedy,
his?
writing comedy. I'm giving suggestions. You can take words sometimes.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. This for the listeners. Maybe they want, an inside scoop and
They're looking for
the
like
business.
a really successful
Yes.
and most importantly profitable career
Yes.
in comedy.
You're going to want to use puns. Easy to come up with puns.
People love puns.
People love them.
They don't groan
Uh-uh.
or feel like they're old-timey.
And if they do, that's part of it, You build it into the craft.
Yeah. Then when they're like, oh, that's, boo, you're like, boo you, crowd.
Boo, we're not dating. Something like that.
Boo, I'm so scared. Ah, you frightened me.
Oh, no. Just like this movie. Wow, what a scare fest.
Were you scared?
The whole movie I was scared, not because of the film, but because of the man next to me.
Okay.
The man next to me comes in. The movie's already begun. He's like using his phone to light up the seat to make sure it's the seat, even though it's the only one open. He's like, is it my seat? I'm like, yep, it seems like it.
Must be.
He sits down, not even 5 minutes in, is on the phone talking. Hello? Yeah, what's up? And the guy next to him goes, hey, man. And he goes, what? Just don't talk to me type of attitude. Yeah. So then he gets on the phone a second time.
Oh, good.
And the guy next to him just gets up and goes and sits somewhere else. And then he looks at the guy's partner who left. And he goes, what? I don't give a fuck. And I was like, oh, cool. My God. Good. Yeah. I mean, clearly you're answering a phone during a movie. You clearly don't care about anything or anyone around you.
Good bit.
But I was nervous though. I was like, is he going to pick up the phone again? Is he going to strike someone? Is he going to strike me?
Is he going to strike a woman?
Is he going to? You never know. But then I also had the scare of the movie. And I was like, I'm trying to focus on this film. But the guy next to me. That's a real oddity. Answering the phone in the theater. Why would you do it?
I'll be honest. It's getting less and less odd as the years go by.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'll be honest. I don't think someone has answered a phone in a movie I was watching in a long time.
That's
Lots
pretty good.
of texting, obviously.
Yes, of course.
That is to be expected.
Tinder swipers, all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Masturbators.
That's been really rising.
Flashers.
Oh my God.
Just people running across the screen.
You're like, wow.
Squeezing their big old jugs.
Or their butts. You're like, wow.
And you're like, ugh. Get those fat jugs out of here.
I'd like
Yuck.
to watch the movie.
I'm trying to watch Oddity. A Shudder production.
Yeah. Move it.
Speaking of Shudder and watching a Shudder movie.
Yeah.
Were you able to enjoy this film at all with all these interruptions?
Oddly enough, I was able to. I was able to zone in. Mm-hmm. I had that background fear, but I let it go to the background as it should. And
Smart.
watch the movie. I'd let it wash over me. Occasionally, the man next to me would say, "Oh, hell no," or "This shit's crazy." And I'd be like, "Yeah, it is.
It is crazy.
Almost as crazy as answering a phone during a movie."
What if he was a ghost? Do you think that guy was a ghost?
He was. Perhaps.
He's like, "Hey, man, before I go, shake my hand." And your hand just squeezes nothing. You're like,
And then the more important question, who was he calling?
"Oh."
But no, I had a good time. I was like,
Good.
This was a fun movie. I thought it was well done, pretty contained. And it's got to be on the top of my Shudders. I have a bad history with Shudders, so.
It's way on the top of my Shudders.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I may be overselling it, but it's near the top of my movies
Whoa.
of the year.
Okay. Wow.
I'll see it 4 or 5 times. I can decide if it's at the top of my movies.
Yeah,
Probably
let me know.
not,
Let
but
me know.
you never know. I just really enjoyed it.
I thought
Very
it was fun.
simple. Mm-hmm. There's like 3 characters.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like just twisty enough in a really clever way that it kind of makes you. At some point, I was like, "Wait, is the thing that I thought was happening not happening?"
Yeah.
And then later they were like, "No, the thing you thought was happening is happening."
Is
And I went,
happening.
"Oh, okay, that's
Okay,
great.
nice
You
little
made me
twisty.
think it wasn't happening. Great job, guys."
Yeah, I like the little twisties.
It was a little twisty, a little turny, very scary. I got spooked many times. Lots of good jumps. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job.
I enjoyed it so much that I even had a favorite part of the movie.
You had a gyro?
I had a beef lamb gyro.
Are you serious?
Mampy, you know that on this podcast, I tell only the truth.
That is true.
Thank you. This is my favorite thing.
Tell me about it.
Spoilers! Spoiler alert!
Big time.
There's always spoilers, but if it's your first time, know that sometimes I start spoilers within 10 minutes of the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So just know that.
It does happen.
And this will definitely be a spoiler. Isn't it like Darcy and DC and Deuce?
Darcy and
Dida.
Dida.
Is Darcy the dead one?
Darcy's the dead one.
Darcy's the dead one.
Living
Okay.
one is something else.
Danta.
Danta.
Oh, Tarty.
What are you doing here, Tea Leaf?
Oh, how come there's a ghost in my freaking house? Oh, no.
That was my favorite line. I love that part. I was like,
What the
whoa.
fuck is a goddamn ghost doing in my fucking house? My fucking house.
Fucking house.
Oh, no. I'm gonna cut off my finger if you don't stop being my friend. Oh. Okay, so my favorite part. There's a girlfriend.
Yes.
She's the current girlfriend of the artist formerly known as husband.
Tim Timmons.
Tim Timmons. The Dr. Tim
Dr.
Timmons.
Tim Timmons.
And she is at the home. There's one big home.
Yes.
Big, beautiful, crazy looking home. And that's where most of the action happens.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend has discovered this old camera that was Darcy's. Or Darby's.
Darby's.
Glembum's.
Dita's.
Dead lady. Let's call her Dead Lady.
Dead lady.
He has discovered the dead lady, or she has discovered the dead lady's camera. And in addition to a lot of creepy photos, there's also creepy videos.
Yes.
She watches this video early on, and like in a really cool bit of design, there's this yellow tent. And it's like it's lit from the inside, so there's just like this cool glowing yellow tent that you don't entirely know why it's there at first. And because they had only just gotten into the house, they're staying in the tent because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
So they're in there, and dead lady's shooting a video. She's like, "Here I am. We're in the tent.
Yeah.
It's great." And then she like points it over at her husband, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fucking cold. Oh no, oh god." And the girlfriend's like, oh, that's weird. And then she starts to watch it again.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck
She's
is
obsessed.
this shit? Why is she watching it again? This is stupid. And same thing. Just same exact video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're here in the tent. Oh, ta-ta. And she turns it. And instead of the husband, there's Ghost Lady. Which is to be expected. Mm-hmm. But it scared the shit out of me.
It really got me. I fully jumped.
It was so fucking scary.
Oh!
Yeah. There were a lot of different times when I was just like, whoa! Wow!
Okay, that one got me good. And also the time when she's in the tent,
Yeah.
the dead lady, before she dies, and she has hidden in there, and then she sees in the picture that there's definitely someone there.
Oh.
And then she unzips it, and then he's there, and you're like, ah! It was so scary. I was like, no!
And also, they really, they squeeze all the juice out of that scare because
Yeah.
it's like a jump. And then he's just there
Ugh.
with this terrifying ceramic-looking
Horrible.
mask. Almost motionless.
Yeah.
It's like a white mask with, like, weird little splotches for
Yeah.
pupils.
Very
and they
weird.
just, like, close in on him. And there's horrifying music happening. And they just get closer and closer. And you're like, oh, fuck.
just
This
got
guy's
a
so
hammer.
fucking scary.
Very scary.
Shit.
Very scary.
That's like my third hero.
That part
That part.
really got me. I was like, oh!
It kept scaring me.
Yeah, I guess. Exactly.
And, I mean, lots of other good things, but I can't only talk about my favorite things.
No. So I absolutely love that part. It was so freaky.
Did you have a favorite part?
I did have a favorite part. The video part was pretty close. I was like, holy hell. It
shit
scared
out
the
of me.
crap out of me.
I was
But
so fucking scared.
my favorite part, honestly, is how weird the sister is, the white-haired
Yes.
sister. I thought she was a great character.
Yeah.
Very fun. I didn't know she was going to be blind. I was like, oh, that was a wild reveal. I had
It
no
was
clue.
cool.
And you don't really quite know. You're like, is she just choosing not to look at the brother? Or like
Yeah.
it feels a little...
Is she weird?
Or
Or
some
is
sort
she...
of oddity? Like, what's going on?
Is this movie about her?
Is this about... Yeah, and like you first hear she's like holding a bell that she's like just like sensing the energy or something.
So good.
And you're like, huh, this is interesting. But my favorite about the whole movie was the little button. This is big spoiler, Tortori.
Tortori. That sounds real Irish. Oh,
Tortori. I gotta use the Tortori.
Tortori.
Can I help into the Tortori? The toilet territory is they shorten
Toilet
it to
territory.
Toratory. That's what they say in Ireland. Toratory.
Oh.
I'll hop into the Toratory. Take a shite. A proper shite.
Fucking shite.
Fucking shite.
Oh. They're silly people.
They really are. I
My
love
first
them.
name is Sean, so I think I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say all this.
And
stuff.
my mom's white, so I'm also allowed to say anything I want.
All white people are Irish.
Yeah.
In some way.
My mom, she seems Irish. I've never asked, but
She's
Got
just
that.
drunk.
yeah, she's just
That's fine. That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Takes me back to the Isles.
Oh!
But there's
You know that trick? Can I interrupt you for the
Please.
7th time?
God, please.
You stick your tongue against the top of your mouth, and then that makes you sound Irish?
Hello.
Oh!
Hello. I can't make me sounding Irish.
Oh, hello! I'm Irish. Pretty good, huh?
It makes you sound like a pirate captain with no teeth, which I guess is
Ooh.
basically Irish.
Are all pirates Irish?
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
Yeah, I think so. I think they proved that. We weren't sure for a while, but it came out.
Tweet at us.
It got overshadowed by all this political news, but that came out
Yes.
as well.
They found it out 2 weeks ago, right
Yeah.
after the shooting.
Black Irish Beard. They renamed him.
Black Irish.
I'm Black Irish. But so basically,
I'm not going to stop you this time.
No. Please don't. No, they set up this storyline early on, and this felt very like classic filmy type thing. So I really appreciated it. They set up this bit where she has this bell, and there's a whole storyline about a doorman. A ghost doorman who runs at people and scares them and they die in some way.
Yes.
Anytime you ring it. And the doctor's like, yeah, right. None of that shit exists. I'm a doctor.
Yes.
I just think you're a fucking crazy loon.
You blind
You
bitch.
blind bitch.
Is what he says to
I
her.
killed your sister, you blind bitch. That was my second favorite line.
Yeah. And the design of the bell is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of these old-timey bells that you ding at the hotel.
Ding, ding.
But it has almost, I don't know if it's ceramic or something. It has like this cool white button
Yeah.
on the top of it. It's just like a
Cracks and
a
stuff.
well-crafted artifact.
Yeah, you gotta have your objects in movies look cool. It's very important. Props.
There isn't a ton of money in this movie, but like the stuff they spent money on worked very well.
Absolutely. Everything
Woodman
looked nice.
looks beautiful.
Woodman, the crate Woodman's in. The store, the shop feels very good.
Yes.
It's like an Irish version of the Conjuring house.
Absolutely.
All the cursed items.
Yeah.
We need a crossover with this lady and the Warrens.
That'd be fucking awesome. I would watch that.
That would be great. But
I'd absolutely watch
they
that.
set up the story of the haunted bell boy, and then at the very end,
Oh.
after a lot of stuff has transpired,
So
we're
good.
like, whoa, this movie's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor who's gotten away with it all.
Yeah.
Evil
Everything's
doctor
fine.
man, because big spoiler, he's the one who had his orderly kill his wife. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So
And the orderly also was one of his former patients who was a murderer who he got out of.
wild.
That's really good.
And
really
then
good stuff.
maybe does something to him. Maybe something bad happens to the orderly. And
Yeah,
it's
maybe he
not
gets his
good.
toe bit.
Yeah.
By a coot.
Man, that was a wild moment. I was like, oh my God.
That's fucking nuts.
Because they keep hinting at this man with a jaw strap just chewing or something.
Yeah,
in
he's
a
got
room.
like Hannibal Lecter vibes. You don't
Yeah.
even see him from the front, but like you see that he's got this big harness on that's all
Yes.
leather, and you're like, whoa, that guy's one of the bad ones.
Yeah, and they keep cutting to it, and you're like, that's going to have something to do with something at some point.
But one of the fun things, and I'm still interrupting you, but one of the fun things is that there's so many things.
Yeah.
There's so many things teased, and
Mm-hmm.
so many things shown, and like so many like little bits of information that you have to keep track of. That like when he comes back around, you're like, oh, there he is. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's time for
Uh-oh.
that guy to eat or something.
It's time for him to eat. Yeah.
Hungry.
He's gonna chew. He's gonna chow down. Yeah, it's a nice little reveal where they crack open the door to the orderly's room. He's like strapped down after
Yeah.
he seems crazy because he's saying a woodman tried to strangle him or something.
Which, spoiler alert, may have happened.
It may have happened. And yeah, then the little man has crawled in and popped up, and he's like, time to bite.
So,
They both look at each other like, no.
please don't bite my toe.
Please don't bite my. But
Yes.
I love they set up this bellboy's ghost story, and at the end, the doctor's sitting there like, I got my house, I lost my girlfriend, I'm all alone in this house where someone died. 2 people died. And then he receives a package from the Oddity shop,
Yes.
and he opens it up.
of
and
the
then
lady who's dead.
the dead lady who
He gets it
owned
from a
Oddity
dead lady.
opens it up. Guess what's inside?
I don't want to.
The bell is inside. And then he sits there and he takes a second and he's like, do I dare? A man of science like I? And then he, ding! And nothing happens. And he sits there and he's like, looking around, he's like, I knew this shit was made up and fake. And you're kind of like, dang, I was hoping like that
Yeah.
would be some revenge. And then I was like,
sucks.
oh, he'll always be looking over his shoulder. And I thought it was just going to cut to black. But then they cut to a wide and the ghost bellhop is there. And I was
He's
like,
there.
"Ooh."
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it was a nice ending.
I really enjoyed the fact that like that one was played as like not a scare, but kind of as a punchline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like it's not especially. He's not jumping out.
No,
he's
he's
just kind of standing there, being a terrifying dead bellman.
Yeah, it's like,
so when
uh-oh.
they draw it out enough that he's kind of looking around. And he's like, yeah,
Ho, ho, ho.
there's a ghost bellman. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then they cut, and he's just like, Ghost Bellman,
Ghost Bellman. Yeah, Ghost Bellman.
So good.
Ghost Bellman. That was my third favorite line. Ghost Bellman.
Computer, could you tell me what's in here with me? Ghost Bellman.
Ghost Bellman. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that part.
I don't see a go.
I love that part so
It's
much.
fucking good. And it's like one of those, as we know, having seen 1 million movies, endings are fucking hard.
Yeah, they are really hard to pull
There's
off.
lots of movies I really like that are kind of like, well, that was a pretty good ending,
Yeah.
but what a great movie. But
Exactly.
the ending was fine, but, you kind of weigh it all and you go, well, who needs a great ending? But this one just had such a great ending.
I loved it. They landed it. It was a nice little button. I went,
It was perfect.
Because you think he's gotten away. You're like, oh, damn. He not only did he get away, he framed someone else and got them killed.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Got them eaten by a man.
Yeah, which
An
is
evil man.
brutal.
Really good.
Brutal. Which that guy did suck. He did kill a woman and
He did.
he killed I'm guessing he killed the one-eyed man.
I think so.
And-
No.
Oh.
The Woodman killed the one-eyed man.
Oh, right. Because we hear she sent him to kill him.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, "You're the
Forgot
killer."
about that. Forgot
That's
about
why
that.
she was so sort of heartbroken when she found out that he wasn't the killer.
Yes, that makes so much
Good.
more sense.
Really
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, whoa. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because I was wondering. I was like, why were there all those spooky sounds if it was just
Yes.
that one dude? That makes way more sense.
Speaking of the Woodman,
The Woodman.
my Euro number 2,
Mm-hmm.
one of my other third or fourth or fifth favorite parts. Woodman in general is awesome.
Great.
Like the perfect kind of Annabelle type.
yeah. Ooh.
Just sits motionless
freaky.
until it's necessary for it to not be motionless.
Yeah.
But it's just so creepy when people are around it.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
There's a great scene when the girlfriend is like pulling
Yes.
different shit out of the
Ooh.
Woodman's head. He's got like 5 holes in his head, and there's different artifacts
Creepy.
from like the sister's life in there, which is really good. But at some point, the girlfriend is upstairs. She's like wandering around for some reason, and she looks down, and the Woodman is completely motionless, but looking up at her.
Yeah, it's like,
And he's got this big gaping mouth. Like,
ugh,
and
so
it's
creepy.
fucking scary.
yeah, I was like, holy shit.
It's really good. And
Yeah.
just the design of the Woodman is
Very
really cool.
good, yeah.
Because it like sort of feels like it really is a Woodman, but you can also be like, okay, I can get how that would move around.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good in between.
And they could have probably gone like too rubbery or something.
Yeah.
But when it starts moving, like it moves kind of, I don't know, steady enough
Yeah,
or whatever.
Feels very
it's
rigid
fucking
still.
good.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, yeah, the part where it comes to life and is chasing the guy was so freaky. I was like, oh god, I don't want to be in that room. Yeah, when you just see it's not in the chair, you're like, oh god.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this guy's fucking fucked.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, she's using some witch magic.
This bitch.
Some straight up witch magic up
This
in
bitch
here.
dead.
Honestly, the back and forth between the new girlfriend and the sister was so good. Like,
It's evil. The sister
oh my
is such
god,
a bitch.
I love it. I just thought it was so fun. One of my favorite parts. What does she say? The girlfriend's like,
Well, it's stupid to you.
yeah. She goes, do you think my sister was stupid? Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And she goes, well, me and my sister look the exact same. So, do you think I look stupid?
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, what do you think I'm stupid? And she goes, I don't know. I can't see you. You sound it. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, damn.
She does sound stupid.
She's so relentlessly mean to her. It's awesome.
She should. She's.
I mean-
they're both evil.
They are.
But the sister's not that. The thing is, like, they're both just dicks.
Yeah, they're dicks.
Like, they're not really evil, and I kind of like the way that turns.
yeah.
Because at first, like, when the wood guy shows up, and when the sister shows up, the blonde Oddity sister
Yeah.
shows up, they're sort of the bad guys. Mm-hmm. You don't exactly know who has done what, but like the Woodman is the thing to be scared of.
Like, ugh.
Like he's the scary thing.
The hell is that?
And then by the end, he has become the good guy.
Yeah.
And I really like that switch, because the whole time you're like, oh, that thing is fucking scary. And then by the end, you're like, oh, that thing's so fucking scary, but that's great. I'm glad he's going to kill that awful orderly.
Yeah, I love that. And like,
It's a good bit.
using that freaky mask earlier, like twofold as like a way to keep us from knowing the mystery.
Yes.
And because he doesn't use it later, but it was just like a nice little like, oh wow. And it was so simple, but yeah, effective. Which I think they did a really good job. Like, even the ghost stuff, they didn't go over the top. Like,
No.
Just felt very, like, simple makeup, and I like that.
Yeah, the ghost stuff was like super simple. Just kind of like white eyes and just like slightly whitish, ghostly looking makeup. And maybe it's, I don't know what else they
Creaky.
did. But just must have been perfect, because every time I saw it, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Holy shit.
Oh, no.
I love it. And I love when the lady's looking for her keys for 10 hours, and she's just like, that's just so fun. It's just all great. And they did a good job, like, slowly revealing what happened with the sister. Like, you think she opens the door for the guy, but then she doesn't. If only she had it would have been a totally different movie.
I know. There's so many. That as like a main concept is so awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Because it plays so much like a, like a fucking Goosebumps story or something like that.
Yeah, it's like,
where it's like, there's a man at the door and he's got one eye. And he's like, I saw a man in there with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Don't let the one-eyed... That's just the kind of thing a one-eyed man would say to try to kill you.
Why are one-eyed men always trying to kill us? I don't get it.
Then we find out that the one-eyed man is a murderer.
Yeah, he did.
But he killed his mother, who was abusive to him.
Well, yeah.
It's just, there's so many levels of everybody that they fit into a movie that is like not long at all.
That's what you can do when you have like 5 cast members. Like you can pour in and make them more interesting.
Yeah.
I really like that, and I like the little hints of like the guy at the asylum who just draws all the time, and he like draws the one-eyed man, all that stuff. Like just so really good. Well done. And
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah,
I'm ashamed to say it, but I fucking love this movie.
I thought it was very good.
I'm not ashamed. It's like a perfect little Clockwork movie. I just like a movie that is like, well, okay, we have this much money, and we have this house that's cool, and we have like a few other locations that we can use.
Do it.
But that's all we got, so let's make it cool. So, well, the tent, that's super fucking cool. It's just like a really good graphic thing. For some reason, there's a yellow glowing tent in there.
It's very nice.
And we don't find out for kind of a long while why it's there, but it's just, that looks fucking cool.
It does.
And then you ground it in a need. And it's just like, oh, great.
This
That's
works.
awesome.
And it just plays on like little fears. Like it is very kind of terrifying being in a tent and not knowing what's outside of. Like honestly, when you can see out of a tent, it's scary too. I once went out to sleep in a tent and I could just like see, there was just like a window basically with like mesh, and I could see like the night sky and the moon, and I was like, that's kind of freaky. Like that I'm just sitting right here, like it's kind of
just out here in the middle of nowhere.
A little intense.
Any guy with a ceramic mask could come up and kill me at any time.
A bear with a gun, anything could happen.
Ooh.
I could be killed.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear could fucking...
Cocaine Bear 2. Where's Cocaine Bear 2?
I don't know. Bring it back.
That movie was not that good, but
It wasn't.
I wouldn't be surprised. Why wouldn't they do a second one?
It seems like the perfect... I mean, and you don't have to stop at bears. You could pick any animal. Cocaine.
Well, they have been doing other cocaine movies.
Really?
One of those companies that does like direct to video, like where they start making a movie the moment a movie is announced, so that it comes out before the movie. But there's like fucking cocaine shark and shit.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know that. That's exciting. I mean, I
horrible.
Wonder what would happen to certain animals if you gave cocaine koala.
It just dies.
It dies
in like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you meet the koala's best friend, Who's like another koala.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbroken.
My friend died from cocaine overdose. But
But you have to have an Australian accent, right?
More free yeah, I don't know.
Oi, my friend koala.
It's a
How do you
koala.
do an Australian?
Huh?
How do you do an Australian?
I always start with wallaby, a wallaby at a Holiday Inn. I try to go. Those words make me get as close as I can.
Can you say Holiday Inn in a non-Australian accent?
No, I cannot. Okay. I've tried. It just
That must
always
be
comes out. It is weird.
Where are you staying?
Holiday Inn.
Me? I'm staying at the
Holiday Inn. Yeah.
I'm staying at the Holiday Inn.
There's gonna be a wallaby at the Holiday Inn.
There's a wallaby at the Holiday Inn?
Yeah. Didn't know.
Oh, okay.
All right. Cool.
I love most of this movie.
Yeah.
Like 94%. I'll have to see it a few times.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'll really like a movie like Long Legs. And then I'll see it a second time and I'll be like, oh, that's kind of bullshit.
That's kind of bullshit.
It's just bullshit.
I feel like the world has really turned against Long Legs. It's not looking good, folks. It's getting grim.
I think it's a perfectly fine one watch.
Yeah. I have no interest in watching it again.
No.
Yeah.
Even though I will say their ad campaign currently is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just, Osgood Perkins put 13 devils in the movie. So you have to like go and identify all 13 devils, which is a really good bit.
Yeah, they did a good job of, it was very well thought out, that side of it.
Yes.
I do still wish they hadn't done the scariest movie of all. Like, none of that helps.
No.
That stuff is never accurate and just hurts it.
Unless it is.
I've never seen it be accurate, but maybe. Maybe one day.
What's the scariest?
The scariest? That's tough. The scariest movie.
Tweet at us at Food Court Cast. What is the scariest movie?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few.
There are a few.
Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Pulse.
Oh, freaky.
Scares the shit out of me.
Scary.
His movie Cure, which is maybe not quite as scary, but is more makes you feel more awful.
I heard it was good.
It's makes you feel terrible. Ooh. You feel awful.
The Wailing, pretty
Wailing's
freaky.
really scary.
Oof. That reveal at the end, I won't say what it is. Holy moly.
Spoiler alert.
I went, oh.
It's a really good reveal.
It's like, holy.
Can we spoil that movie?
I don't know.
It's really cool that they're like, oh, actually, Japanese people are the devil.
Yeah, there are devils. Japanese devils, they're real.
You know who's the devil? Japanese people. And that's the end of the movie.
That means we're in trouble.
Japanese people are the devil. Oh, cool. Well, have a nice night.
Good night,
Thanks
folks.
for coming to the movies.
Yeah. They are all collectively the devil. The like one, like where they can all form into one.
Oh, that'd be cool.
All their eyes go white and they levitate and they. I have returned. That would be pretty cool. That'd be awesome.
Hey, if you're from Japan, first of all, we don't think you're the devil.
No, we love you.
We were just referring to the Wailing, which was pretty obvious about how racist it is.
It was wild. I was like,
dang. But it can't be all good unless you have more good things.
No, I mean, I like the way it looked. I thought it just flowed well. Just had,
looks good.
Yeah, it was a nice little contained story, and I thought it was fun. And with some good little scary moments, they didn't like milk too much. Like, they didn't do a bunch of jumpy stuff. It was just like, oh god, I just actually got scared by that.
Yeah, the jumps are, and they're not even doing like like a few different confusing things where you think it's going to be a jump and then there's a jump. It's just like effectively surprising.
It's like, oh, that got me.
There's enough dread or creep or whatever in the air that when something scary happens, you're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, there has been a trend of, like, trying to do fake outs until the scare actually happens, and you're like, okay. At a certain point, it gets stupid. You're like,
yes.
Okay, how many times are you going to turn around? Just, like, have the scare happen.
If you pick the right amount, I think it works, but
50.
It's tough to know how many that is.
My biggest example, Conjuring 2, she turns around like 70 times, and then by the 71st, there's like none. I was like, this is insane. How many times are you going to turn around? Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like, this is too much.
Ah!
Yeah. too.
Wait, what does the nun look like?
She's very stern looking. Yeah.
Like this? I'm the nun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I still think, big spoiler, Nun 2, when she's like really tall and on fire, that was pretty cool.
It's really
I was
cool.
like, ooh, that
Good
looks
flick.
cool. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I mean, at
Better
least
than Nun
1,000
1.
times better than the first one.
I hate that movie. It's so
It really
bad.
sucks. You know what else sucks?
Yeah.
Parts of Oddity.
Oddity.
What's the low main of this movie, Mampy? What's the very worst part?
I struggled with it.
Me too.
Finding, because I was like, I mean, I just like it. I mean, there's some stuff that maybe could have been done a little bit better, but like,
Sure.
it's so small and
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't really know what else. Like, it's a little bit forced, like him being like, yeah, she can stay here. Like, it just doesn't make kind of any sense.
No.
But
Yeah.
you're just like, I just have to buy into this because that's how the movie's going to go, because there's no other
Yes.
way for it to go.
Yeah, I think basically the blind sister shows up out of nowhere
Yeah.
at the house of where her sister died.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm here to stay." Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
No, you aren't. What? And then the husband is kind of like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
which I'm sure would happen if like some blind lady had taken a lift
Yeah, I guess
all the
so.
way from the city. You'd kind of be like, "Oh, okay, well, shit, I can't kick her out."
Yeah. Someone in my theater, when they saw her standing by the car, they were like, how'd she drive there? I was like, she didn't drive there. What are you talking about?
Maybe she's that good.
Yeah, maybe. Her senses.
Maybe it's a ghost car, and because she can touch things and communicate with the beyond,
Maybe.
maybe the ghost is like, "All right, a little bit to the left."
Oh, maybe she drives Christine, the haunted car. That would be cool. We needed that. We needed the car to eat the doctor at the end. But you can't get out everything you want.
It's tough. It's really tough to get a eating car into the house.
I know, you don't think about it. You're like, oh, how the hell am I going to...
How do I fit this car into this house?
Yeah.
Well, he can walk outside, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody knocks on the door.
That's, yeah.
Open the door and it's fucking Christine.
Yeah. I'm coming. Doctor. I know if I had to pick like something specific,
You do.
as much as I like the device of him so he sets a trap for the sister
Oh, yes.
where she falls through a hole.
Very rude.
And I think that was like like oh fuck, that was like really clever and sinister.
Yeah.
But the way he goes about it was a little like ham-fisted and awkward. Like, I'm gonna leave my phone over here, and then like I'm gonna go to the office and I'll call you. And I was like, what? Like, it just didn't really make any sense. Like, it felt very strange. And I was like, well, wouldn't she just know he's going to go to the office and send the orderly to kill her? Like, it felt so obvious. And I was like, why would she just stay there? It just felt weird. But the trap thing, I thought was clever device, but it just felt a little odd. Like, I'll call you and you pick it up. Like, it felt weird.
They had to try a little hard to make it all work.
Yeah, that felt
Like,
a little
okay,
stretched.
I'm leaving this there, and then I'll call you from there.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
It was just interesting.
I don't know. Sounds pretty weird.
Exactly.
Sounds pretty strange.
Pretty odd. Titty.
Why don't you stay here?
Why didn't? Yeah, like it could have been more interesting if he had like had the orderly call him and then like, here, you want to talk to him or something. I don't know, like some way. It just felt very like weird. But I guess then he would be there for the woodman. They'd had to figure out a way to get him out of there.
They had to get him out.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was just got a little clunky there.
A necessary evil in this movie.
Yes.
Where they're like, well, he's in the house.
Yeah,
Why the fuck would he leave?
exactly.
He goes there. He goes away.
Yeah.
Why did he leave? Because he's got to go away.
He's gotta go. Yeah.
Obviously.
And man, he's got to go back to get his phone. Like, it's just a whole ordeal.
You know what? Mm-hmm. You know what the worst part for me is?
What is it?
Even though I love this movie, I think the name is not the best. When I honestly, if I hadn't seen a bunch of people like tweeting about this movie, and saying, "Oh, Oddity kicks ass. You should see Oddity." When I first saw the name, it just sounds like one of those generic movies.
Yeah, it did. It's
like Monster Fest. Or some shit.
Monster Fest.
Monster Fest.
I would go to Monster Fest.
Sound very interesting. It does sound kind of good now that
awesome.
I say it. What's a bad title?
Cobwebs. You know, something.
Cobwebs.
Like
yeah.
Like,
isn't there a movie called Cobwebs?
Yeah. I remember hearing it's very bad. So
did that come out last year?
I think so.
I saw that movie. It was okay.
Yeah.
There's a scary mom in that movie.
Scary moms.
Mom's very scary.
Nothing's...
But Oddity, once I saw that in my Regal app, and I'll see a lot of different movies just because I see them in my Regal app. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I was like, Oddity. Maybe I'll see that.
Maybe I'll try it out.
Maybe I'll see that at some point. But it was only upon finding out that it was actually good.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, okay, I better actually see this movie.
I remember seeing the trailer and being like, it looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be good.
Somehow, Mampy, I did not see one gosh darn.
Whoa. I maybe I saw it before that Puppet, the stop motion movie. It may have been before that. I saw it. You remember that movie, Stop Motion? It was another Shudder. I think I'm pretty sure it was Shudder too. But
I do remember that movie.
I may have been before that. I can't remember. I saw it a while ago and I was like, oh, it looks kind of...
I was quite glad to not have seen anything.
Yeah, it helped.
Because that is a very rare thing in this day and age. But it was very helpful.
Yeah, it is.
Because I didn't know shit about it.
I saw it so long ago that when the movie started, I was like, wait, oh, okay, I've seen a trailer about, like, when she opens the door, I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I was just like, okay, I guess there's characters in this movie.
I guess it's happening.
So they're in an oddity shop?
Oddity.
Is that what you're telling me?
Shop.
I was being very sarcastic about the movie. Oh, so there's a really nice house out in the middle of nowhere? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
there's
is that
ghosts?
what you say?
Okay. If you say so. What else sucked about this movie? Okay. This is a minor, tiny thing. And probably I would have noticed it more if the movie was less meticulously put together. But some of the performances were a bit much.
Yeah.
Like the orderly's performance is just kind of a bit much.
Yeah, he goes a little...
I like him, but there's sometimes when it's like, okay, all right, he's just a kook.
Little much.
It's a little much. Even the husband at times is just like a little much.
Turned up.
Like, and just in strange places, like sometimes when you sort of get why the girlfriend can be mean to the blind lady.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know her.
Exactly.
She has no relationship to her. And she's showed up out of nowhere.
And the girlfriend, the sister of his dead wife, it's like very bizarre.
Yes. Like, you still don't like her for being mean, but you sort of get why she thinks she could be mean. But when the husband's sort of a dick to her, you're like, huh. Isn't that the sister of your dead wife?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you have some decorum?
I would say that's probably a low side. I pretty much pieced together that the husband... It's like... It's the hard thing about movies with small casts. Yes. You're like, okay, well, it's gotta be one of two people.
It must be him.
Yeah,
yes.
It's like... Yeah.
I think that was why I enjoyed the fact that, like, at some point they say, okay, it's not the one-eyed man, and you're like... it's the husband.
Yeah, you're like, it's gotta
And then
be.
they point out that it is the actual killer was the orderly.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, interesting. And I liked that it was like just enough of a twist that it got my mind off the husband being it.
Yeah.
And then when they came back to him, it's like, oh, of course.
It was such a good twist that it made me think that it wasn't the woodman that killed the eye guy. It tricked my brain.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Because I was like,
true.
oh, he's evil, so he set this whole thing up. And was waiting for him to do it, and then he killed him. And I was like, oh, wait, no, it makes more sense that the sister would send him. Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, no, this is not a good way to think about movies. But if they made another movie about the Woodman in the past or something, I would love that.
The Woodman in the past.
I mean, if he was just like, righting wrongs,
That would be fun.
being a monster of vengeance, being a golem.
Yeah, because he was an oddity that. Well, no, I guess their mom found. Is that?
Yeah.
What maybe before the mom got it, that it was off doing devilish deeds.
I also really like the fact that the monster, the Woodman, gets burned.
Yeah, that was nice.
They burn him, and the husband burns him, and it really feels final.
Yeah, you're like, dang, that thing.
Like, oh, fuck.
Because you're just like, it is nice. It tricks you so much. It's that whole thing of like, oh, he literally got away with it.
He got away with it.
Frame the
And
guy.
then
everything.
the package shows up, and you're like, oh, I know what's in there.
That was so nice.
Oh, I know what's in there.
We were like, what's in the box? What's in the box? We were Brad Pitt, but in a positive way.
Yes.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Hey, what's in the box?
If that,
Ding, ding.
oh my god! If that bell's in that box, I can't take it. If that bell's in that box, I'm out. Ding, 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 ding. Hello? Yeah, I'm in this movie. Yeah, I think there's about to be a bell in a box.
What?
There
There's
was
a bell in a box?
There was a point where this is the thing about couples. I love you to death. I love you to death. I support it. I get it. Look, I get it.
Love.
I get it now. I was so against it. Now I get it. But if you are the man, if it's a man-lady situation, or a lady, whoever is more male, do not lean into your partner and go, oh, the husband did it. Like, don't ruin their experience. Let them, like, I can't stand that stuff. Let her, shut up.
She'll get it.
Stupid fuck.
She'll get it, and if she doesn't get it, well, she didn't deserve to get it.
She didn't get it. I mean, sometimes I don't get I remember in Harry Potter 7 part 1, I don't know which one it was, 6 part 8, whatever, when they reveal Snape, they're like showing Snape's memories and Harry, and I was like, oh my god, he is Harry's dad. And my friend goes, no, he's not. I was like, oh, I put that together. Are you sure? I was like, the pieces seem like...
It kind of does seem like he's Harry.
Yeah, but then
maybe your friend was wrong.
No, they said, nope, it's definitely the guy that just looks like Harry as an adult. No,
Tweet at us at Foodcourtcast was... What is his first name?
Severus Snape.
Was Severus Snape the father of Harry Potter?
I think that would have been a better twist.
Yeah. The guy who looks exactly like Harry Potter? That's not his dad.
That's not his dad. That would have been amazing.
It's the guy who looks like a fucking snake.
It's the Snake Man.
My dad is a snake man.
I'm the Snake Man.
I'm trying to think of other things.
But yeah, I pretty much like the rest. Part of me wanted maybe a different storyline where the this is when I thought that the orderly killed the one-eyed man.
Yeah.
And I thought like it would have been interesting if he would have been punishing the drawing guy by like I don't know, electroshock or something, and he turned into the Chewy man because he went crazy. I was like, that could have been an interesting weaved in, but because the drawing guy just kind of disappears, so he didn't really play any role in the movie. But
does he get? I mean,
I think
is he tired? Why does he?
I think he was just chilling. He was like,
I think he's probably just important because he gets to witness things and be scared.
Yeah, he saw the Woodman and was like, oh fuck, what the hell is that? And poor one-eye guy, that must have sucked. He's like, wait, no, I didn't.
He gets out. He's been there for 14 years. Oof. What a tragic story.
Very tragic.
And he overhears. He's like, oh, we're going to kill my wife.
Yeah.
I hope no one-eyed man stops us. And the one-eyed man is like, oh, that's me.
I did like, oh yeah, and then he gets put back in.
He gets put back
and then cries head crushed by a wood man.
By a fucking wood
possessed by an angry sister. I do think it was partially his fault that he did not get in. He should not have said, I heard them in the walls. Maybe say, I heard two people talking in another room through the ventilation system.
Yes. I heard your husband talking.
Yes, I heard the doctor saying he wants to kill you.
Yeah.
That would have been way better than I heard them in the walls.
I also like, I'm getting almost tired of saying things I like about it, but I like the fact that the doctor's only reason for killing her was essentially like, the house is really nice. I really like this house.
I love this house.
The blind lady's like, why didn't you just divorce her? You should have just said, I don't love you anymore.
Exactly.
I want a divorce. He's like, well, fucking divorce. I'll lose the house.
Oh, that shit, yeah. I'm like, dang, dude.
I don't want to do that.
You suck.
I better have her just smashed with a hammer.
Yeah, we know this guy likes to kill. Why not? Let him get to it.
Thank you.
We got a perfect little mask for him, just ready to go, and crazy rain suit or something. Looks creepy.
Mampy.
We
can't only talk about the movie Oddity.
No.
From Shudder.
No.
We've got to talk about the other movies we watched this week, which brings us to a segment called Pin Express Presents. Express yourself about the movies you watched this week. Play that theme song.
Ding 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 ding. It's time for the Pan Express. Boop boop, because we got some things expressed. Ding ding about the things we watched. Boop boop this week. To do.
Did you want to know this week?
The only thing I watched, my roommate and I were looking for something to watch while we ate dinner, and Batman Returns called out to us. We threw it on. I think this was my Panda, not that long ago. Maybe a few months ago. But hey, we watched it again.
Back
Still
again.
loved it. Thought it was great. Very fun. It's interesting. I find it funny because Batman or Bruce Wayne is not really a character in the second one when you think about it. He just shows up as Batman and Bruce Wayne, but you don't get any more insight into him.
Some guy.
But the first one sets him up pretty good, but it's just funny. I was like, oh, it is interesting. The bad guys are really the characters in the movie, which is interesting.
What's the Penguin up to? What's Catwoman up to?
Yeah. What's Christopher Walken doing?
What's fucking Christopher Walken's weird hair?
Yeah, weird hair. And the first time they cut to him, you're just like, holy shit, his hair looks insane.
That's a great pick, man.
Yeah, I do. I really love the scene right before he kills Selena Kyle where he's like, I'm gonna kill you. She's like, you're not gonna kill me. He's like, well, that's actually what I am gonna do. And she's like, oh, haha. And he starts laughing. And he's like, oh, gotcha. Haha. And then he pushes her out the window and you're like, holy shit. That was pretty good. I was like,
asshole.
Damn. Very. And then the cats bring her back to life with magic. Meow.
You know what I watched, Mampy?
What?
I watched at the Belcourt Theater my beloved Nashville icon.
Yes.
Seven Samurai.
Oh, wow.
Akira Kurosawa. Seven Samurai.
Love it.
A masterpiece.
Such a good movie.
It's really good.
Beautiful.
And I was really struck by the blocking.
Yeah, there's
just people who walk into shots and form perfect blocking. It's really the camera moves into a beautiful shot that you didn't expect to see. There's people behind things and through things and underneath things. There's just lots of stuff in front of the camera. It's really the lighting's just
the extra care of doing that. It probably takes a couple hours on set.
Yeah,
but man, it really makes a difference. You're like, oh, this is nice to look at and interesting. Yeah,
this looks great.
Not just four people in a room.
And it's just, it's such a cavalcade of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
All the characters are so over the top, or most of them are so melodramatic that it takes you a while. At first, there's the one guy who plays Yohei, and he's just got this big frown on his face the whole time, and you're like, that guy's this is really unrealistic.
That's hilarious.
But by a half an hour in, you're like, okay, that's just that's the way this world works.
I love it.
Is there's some people who are like clownishly sad.
Yes. And it's like, cultural and the history of how they do. It just, I love it. I love the main dude who always wipes his head with like.
Oh yes,
cool.
Takashi Shimura.
Yeah, I think.
Is that right?
I guess.
I hope it is.
I haven't seen it.
I think it's Takashi Shimura. He's great.
Only saw it once. So
he's so good. Toshiro Mifune's great. A lot of people are great in it.
Did you take a break?
They have an intermission.
Okay, good. Because I had to. I took,
yes.
but I took longer than the intermission. I took like an hour and went, oh man.
Truly,
intense.
I love the Belcourt, but the seats did pain me.
Phew, bad
I had
seats.
a serious case of the Belcourt.
Very bad seats.
And it was a little brutal, but it was worth it for cinema.
Do you think they'll ever fix them or get...
It's weird because those aren't that old.
I know, but they're just not comfortable.
The moment they put them in, they were just horribly uncomfortable. It was a weird choice.
Very odd.
But, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
And that's all the things I watched.
That's beautiful. I love it.
I don't know what we're watching next week. Is it Wolverine versus Deadpool?
It might be time. That or, well, no, Trap is not the week after.
Oh, Trap!
I hope it's good. It looks wild.
It looks good. We love tweets.
Mm-hmm.
We love a tweet at us at Food Court Cast. We love when you give us reviews. We love 5 stars. We love when you share it with real people in your real life. You say, I love that show. They're so fun. They told me to watch Oddity. I'd never even heard of it. It was good.
I saw it at the theater.
Oh, I saw it at the theater.
I went there and I saw it on chairs that stuck in the Belcourt.
Mampy, on behalf of you, Mampy Hikes, I'm Sean Parrott, saying to everybody out there, bon appetit.